So my body just wants to sit at this weight.
And you're running really far. You said you ran 100 miles maybe just a couple weeks back?
Early February, so it was about 8 weeks ago.
How you holding on to all those muscles? Mainly just steroids?
No.
Nsima?
Dog.
Hey.
Yeah, is it steroids?
I think part of it is it's one, genetics. Like if I look at, so if you ever saw my dad, I'll show you a picture of my dad then. My dad has the worst diet in the world. When we go to dinner, he eats pretty much off the kids' menu. It's like chicken fingers, French fries, or like a burger. No vegetables, no fruit, no nothing. And he doesn't really lift weights anymore, but he does body pump. He's really into body pump.
Is that like a beach body thing?
It's like instructional fitness, and you're not using heavy weights or anything. But my dad is ripped, still ripped. Me and my brother just have always been bigger dudes. I want to. So like funny story. Last year I did a marathon, and it was during an Ironman prep. I was in an Ironman prep, did a marathon in between there, and I stopped lifting weights for about 6 months in preparation for this, and got down to about 192 pounds because I wanted to lose size and strength.
That's still massive, by the way.
And I lost a significant amount of muscle and size. And I finished the marathon. I ran sub 3. But what I found through that journey and that process is when I eliminated strength training, I felt like absolute crap when I was just doing endurance training. And it wasn't until I started introducing and incorporating strength training again back into my routine that I started feeling better. So like some of the things I started noticing, and I talked to Sal DiStefano from Mind Pump about this when he was at BPN.
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed after like 4 to 5 months of no strength training and just a lot of zone 2 aerobic cardiovascular training, is that my metabolism started slowing down. So I started gaining some weight. I noticed I started holding weight around like my hips and my stomach. I was talking to my videographer. So I was like, do you guys think I'm looking just like different? Like, I thought I would get like, really lean and skinny, but I feel like I'm getting just like bottom heavy a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I could tell my metabolism started changing. I started feeling very tired and fatigued and weak. And then when I started slowly incorporating strength training again, I started feeling better.
How about your joints, by the way? I'm curious. Were you feeling any weird joint pains too when you stopped strength training, or no?
No.
Okay.
No, nothing with my joints. I never really had any joint issue.
Okay.
This is like why do you think that happened?
Honestly,
did your videographer say you're nuts, or were they were like, yeah, you look a little softer?
They were like, yeah, you look a little softer. I think it was just eliminating strength training. I mean, before endurance training, I was 230 pounds powerlifting and bodybuilding, right? Like
you came down almost 40 pounds.
I lost a lot of weight and I wasn't incorporating. Back then, I hated cardio. Cardio for me was like the last thing I wanted to do. Me and my brother would crush 2 workouts a day. After that last workout, we'd go to In-N-Out. We'd crush 2 double doubles, animal style, 2 orders of fries, animal style. And then we go to sleep and do the same thing the next day.
This protocol sounds pretty good.
And it was
familiar.
It was just build in size and strength.
Pack Project family, how's it going? I want to tell you guys about the legendary Tasty Pastry. And we've talked about Ben & Jerry's and snacks and stuff on the podcast. But those can go against your goals. They can be too calorically dense, and they can really make you crave more bad foods. But the crazy thing about the legendary Tasty Pastry is that it's 20 grams of protein and 5 grams of net carbs and 180 calories, and they taste amazing. You guys need to check them out. They have tons of flavors. Andrew, how can they get it?
Yeah, and the other thing, they passed the kid test. Kids love these things as well. Head over to eatlegendary.com and at checkout, enter promo code PowerProject to save 20% off all the tasty pastries, all the nut butters, all the almonds, everything. Again, eatlegendary.com. Links to them down in the description as well as the podcast show notes. Let's get back to the podcast.
And then when I transitioned to endurance training, obviously I cleaned some things up and started losing some weight, but I've always been able to hold on to more size and strength, even through this endurance training. Now, one thing I do notice is that when I start incorporating some more speed workouts, like if it's just zone 2 easy running for an ultramarathon, it doesn't really affect my weight. But when I start incorporating some speed workouts, some tempo workouts, go to the track and I do some faster pace stuff, that's when I start losing some more weight. And then for me to go into this next marathon, like right now I'm sitting 200 pounds pretty even in the morning. I'd like to ideally get down to 194, 195 in the next 8 weeks. For me to lose that last 5 pounds, it's actually a pretty big push for me. because my body just wants to sit at this weight.
Does the track, you mentioned the track taking off some weight. Does that take off good weight or is that still just chipping away at muscle?
A little bit of both. Yeah, a little bit of both. Like I will pull back. I'm doing strength training right now 3 times a week, and I'm not doing anything crazy. That last month before the marathon, I'll probably pull out all strength training because I'm not going for this marathon just for a completion, right? I'm going for a time. I want to run a sub 250 marathon. So my last marathon was 2:56:27, 2 hours, 56 minutes, 27 seconds. And now I'm going for a sub 250. It's Buffalo, New York, end of May, which we're going to have to hold about a 6:20 minute per mile pace.
And for somebody, so people can have perspective, because a lot of people listening might not be like avid runners. For a guy that's in your weight class or your weight, what are good times?
I mean, they say endurance is invisible, right? Like you can look at someone and you can't tell what kind of endurance they have. For my weight, I mean, it can range. Like my first marathon ever was 3 hours, 57 minutes. And that was about 225 pounds. My second marathon, 4 hours, 15 minutes. I got worse. I got 18 minutes worse. And then I slowly started incorporating some actual principles of endurance training, lost some weight, but I went from 415 to 324 and then 324 to 256. And now I'm trying to go from 256 to 248, 249. But I mean, 2 minutes when you get down to that low, it's 2 minutes is a big jump.
And that pacing per mile is like what for that goal you have right now?
About a 6 minute, 20-second minute per mile pace.
So Power Project family, I hope you enjoyed this clip. We are on Discord and Reddit. We're trying to talk to you guys and build a community down there. So the links are in the bio. But remember, like, comment, subscribe, share this out with people so you can share the wealth of health. As cheesy as that fucking sounds. Peace.